Morning, everybody. Hey, I figured I'd do a video this morning, just a little short one. But anyway, last evening in this Love's truck stop, I was sitting there. Now I'm stuck here all weekend, waiting on Tuesday morning, day after Labor Day. Anyway, I happened to see a USA truck pull in last evening, and straight across from me there was two spots that were wide open. And one spot directly next to those two spots had a drop trailer in it. Now, this husband and wife team had pulled in, and rather than take the 5 or 10 minutes it would have took them to back into the spot, the driver of the USA truck decided to pull in to the spot. Now, I watched them for a little over 35 minutes trying to maneuver and remaneuver into a spot that they pulled into. Now, they couldn't continue all the way through the spot because there were trucks parked ahead of that spot on the front row. So they were actually pulling straight forward into a second row spot rather than backing in. And like I said, I watched for 35 minutes. And I finally decided to get out because nobody else was getting out to help these folks. So I got out, I went over and talked to the fellow that was on the ground trying to direct the driver back out of the spot in order to remaneuver a little bit to the right in order to become straight in the spot. Anyway, that being said, I asked him if he would mind if I would take over and I would direct the driver, which just so happened to be his wife. And she was extremely nervous, starting to cry, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to remaneuver to the right because everything was so close, even though there were two spots there. But they were almost at a 45-degree angle across both spots. So I took 5 minutes to get out of my own truck and walk over and help these folks. But anyway, it's a lot easier when you pull into a truck stop, especially one that is tight. It is a lot easier to just back into a spot. You're going to take a little bit less time to back into a spot and be a little bit safer about it than pulling into a spot directly behind trucks that you're not going to be able to maneuver much in order to get in and or out of that spot the next morning. Anyway, I took about 5 or 10 minutes and I helped this husband and wife team that had been on the road for a little while, not had a good day. They had not had a good Saturday, and the problems were continuing to mount with the pressure that the wife had trying to maneuver into this spot. And the husband really, he was trying to help the best he could, but he was just as nervous and felt out of place as she did. So I decided to go over and give a little help. But anyway, I finally got her back completely out of the spot, and I had asked both of them to try and get the truck as close to the nose of the trucks on their driver's side as possible, and I would help them back in rather than pull through this spot. And we did. We did. After I took about 5 minutes and told them just pull the brakes, take a couple of deep breaths, it's no big deal. Nobody was saying anything on the CB radio, but you could tell there were a lot of people in the cabs that were just sitting there, either one videotaping and or just sitting there and not wanting to be a helpful solution to this couple that was obviously having a few issues in the truck stop. So I got her backed out. The husband thanked me. I said, "Oh, we're not done yet. We've got to get you guys back into this spot. You've got two spots here that are wide open, so we're going to pull you as close to the nose of the trucks on your left. I'll have her swing out at a 45 in order to aim the trailer back at the spot that she wanted to be into. The husband thought that was perfect. Like I said, I had him take a couple of deep breaths, a couple of who-saw moments just to kind of calm down, get both their hearts to stop racing. And let's take some time. We're not driving NASCAR, people. We're driving trucks. They are cumbersome. They're large. Hard to maneuver at times. But I guess basically the moral to this story is someone else's perspective may be able to help you in any given situation, especially when your heart rate is raised and you were extremely nervous. This husband and wife team were very, very nervous, extremely nervous, in fact. But it only took me about 5 or 10 minutes to calm them down, let them acclimate to the situation, and look at it from a couple of different viewpoints outside of the truck and not sitting behind the wheel. And after we got the team backed out of the spot, it only took them about 3.5 to 4 minutes to actually back in to that spot and then be able to utilize all the space behind their trailer, backing up in order to pull forward and remaneuver into the spot like they were supposed to. So let's all take 5 or 10 minutes if we happen to see somebody having a few issues. Let's go over and look at the situation and help those folks out. If you can tell that they're physically shaken and nervous, take 5 minutes and just help them calm down a little bit. Tell them it's going to be okay. Obviously, we've all got the skills. Whether we use those skills or not is another story. But we've all got the skills. We've got the driver's license. We had to take a skills test. So obviously we have the skills to do the job and perform the job. It might take 2 or 3 or 4 other people to help you realize that, especially on an extremely stressful day where you just need to take 5 minutes. Don't pay any mind to somebody chattering at you on the CB radio or getting mad or angry. Pull the brakes, get out, walk around the truck, reassess the situation, and then do what you need to do. And if there happens to be somebody there to help you, use them. They're looking at it from a completely different perspective than what you are, especially when you're nervous. Like I said, I watched those folks for about 30 or 35 minutes before I decided myself to get out of the truck and look at it and try to help out as much as I could. And after that, it only took them 3.5 to 4 minutes to actually back into the spot. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. Some days it's easy to pull into a spot, but you've got to think about the day that you've got to back out of that spot. There may be 2 trucks on each side of you. You may not have much room behind the truck in order to get out. So sometimes it's always easier, even though it does not seem easier. Sometimes it's always easier just to go ahead and back into the spot, or at least try to get backed into the spot rather than pulling in forward. 98% of most accidents that happen out here on the road, or in my perspective, 98% of all accidents that happen out here on the road are backing accidents, or accidents that happen while backing. So when you're pulled forward into a spot directly behind another truck, and there's 2 trucks on either side of you, you have more of a chance of backing into somebody while backing out of that spot because you cannot see them, and they are possibly not paying attention to what you are doing. And the way people race in and out of these truck stops anymore, it doesn't surprise me that they are not paying attention to what those of us backing in and out or pulling in and out of these spots are doing. So, but I figured I'd make a short video about that. Folks, you have a great day. This is the trucking non-guru or the trucking gnome. Call me Hippie Jim. Have a great day.